Let's bring them on, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, let's talk tools of the trade. Best thing you can do is get yourself a crowfoot. Use that attached to a 3/8 drive ratchet. Make sure you clean the surface good. I use the shop vac and kind of suck all that debris out. So you're gonna have 2, 4, 6, 8 bolts. Now, 8 of these Proform washer or locking bolts gonna go on here. I highly doubt it. So this is kind of going to be like a mix and match kind of thing. Just want to test fit this down in here. Let's get a gasket and let's get a couple of bolts. Now I can push this rim flex back. It's a good thing about it. It's very pliable. So I'm going to start off with just trying to run the 2 ends in. I'm going to set the gasket on the bolt and I'm going to very loosely get these on. Whatever side is easiest, go with that first, then switch over to the other one. This is a dual pattern, so make sure you're in the right hole. You never want to be in the wrong hole. All right, so I got number 8 and number 4. Just a couple of turns, that's all I did. Now let's see about the next mister. See if I get a couple turns in on that one. This fella kind of want to fight me because the header is hitting the header right there. So I might have to see if I can get a couple of turns on it with the wrench, and I think I got a couple of turns. Now I'm gonna move to the back one. See if I can get a back one in. Key to this is try to get everything loose, get a couple of bolts going. Got that one. Let's try to get a middle one. So this is the process. It's painstaking, but you take your time, get them all loose. A couple of turns, it'll work. Last one. And this is the problem child one, because of the freaking header port doesn't really line up, so this is kind of crooked. I might think about a stud on this one. All right, now I'm gonna try to walk all this forward, and I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. This is where the crow's foot come in hand. So I'm gonna get this to pull in just a little bit. And then I'm gonna work this outside one. A little pressure on the outside. I'm gonna go further out. Now I just thought about this. I don't have an oil restrictor for my setup. I have a high volume oil pump, and I'm gonna need a oil restrictor. So you see my technique. I'm just a wee bit at a time. It's a long process, but it'll be worth it in the end. Oh yeah, This is the one with this damaged thread. Crap. And the problem is, if I take this out, I'm hoping I can get something else in here. I'm gonna need something shorter. So I got a couple options. I'm gonna try stud. Problem with the stud though, I don't think the head is going to clear. Maybe it might. I don't think it's gonna work, y'all. Let's hope it clears it. All right, it cleared. Winner freaking chicken dinner on that. I think I should have put a stud in this one also. I think the problem is it's just riding up against that tube. So it's giving me a little tension. As it goes in further, I think it'll smooth out. It's gonna be a nice, good seal on this now. Now let's hope this one doesn't fight me too much, which I don't think I had problems with this one. Nope. Good. Hey, yo, ho, ho. This is turning. Ah, man, I don't like that. That one was starting to spin in the threads. That's good. Now let's go to this guy. Let's be careful with him. That's it right there, buddy. That's good. So now let me find the correct size for this 12 point. Well, I am very pleased with this little hack I got here. Let me recap what I've done here. I used the Proform and some of these ARP studs. Basically, it's just a ARP stud. It's a coarse and fine thread. They give you a 12 point on one side. The good thing about the 12 point, it's a smaller head. The bad thing about the 12 point is I'm using a wrench, and I'm not supposed to use a wrench to get that out there. But I have all of the header bolts on. One of these are kind of soft for it. I've got some engagement, but it's not torqued down like the rest of them, but it's still applying some pressure, so I like the way it just came out. So we'll work on the other side. I need to get some spark plugs in here, and this side is pretty much done. Making real good progress here. We're at the point where we have both headers on. The header wrap is completed on this side, and this is where those ARP studs will help out if you have this issue. So right here, this bolt is really angled. This hole right here has just been, for whatever reason, the hole to the head alignment wasn't correct. And there's not enough room for this bolt to go further towards the header port just because of the machining process. So this bolt, normally I wouldn't be able to get it in because there's just not enough engagement, and it kind of has to go, it goes in on an angle. So you're basically damaging, you're sacrificing this header bolt hole. But with the stud, you can draw the stud in, get a little engagement on it, and basically run the nut up, and you'll get your clamping force that way. So I've only had to use the stud on one port on this side. Everything else is tightened up. It really makes a difference to install these headers when you don't have your brackets on. Like if I didn't have the bracket off, then I'm limited to the amount, the angle of me tightening this bolt. With the bracket off, you know, I can get it almost 3/4 of a turn. Same thing on this side. It's just so much easier tightening this bolt with that bracket off. So now we're going to move over to the crossover portion of the turbo kit. So the crossover portion is going to connect this side to that side. And let's go over some of the hardware that we're going to use.